Now at 4, a mother of 3 hit and killed in Indianapolis. This afternoon, we have new reaction from friends, and we also have the very latest in the search for the driver, who right now is still on the loose.
Aside from a couple of sprinkles, it's a dry start to the week, but I have umbrella weather coming the next couple of days.
Embracing for the financial impact, the new tariffs against China, Mexico, and Canada set to go into effect tonight. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
Watching 13 News at 4, I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan in for Dustin this afternoon after he worked sunrise for us early this morning. We start this afternoon with friends and family who are remembering Emily Martinez. Emily was hit and killed while crossing the street over the weekend.
And all this happened near Washington and Rural Street Saturday night on Indy's east side. Our Anna Chalker shares the message from friends who want the driver to come forward.
No matter where Emily Martinez was, friends say she would always make you feel welcome.
She was everybody's aunt, everybody's friend. She was just a downright good person and loved her family, loved her friends, and if you were special to her, you knew it.
A mother of 3 who took care of many.
She had an infectious smile and a love for life and a love for people.
But her life was cut short this weekend. Emily's friends say she was crossing the street here at Washington and Rural Saturday night, a place she's so familiar with, to go to this bus stop when a car coming through this way hit her and drove off. Police found Emily lying in the street in critical condition. She was taken to the hospital, but later died.
You know, for you just to leave her on the street after you hit her it's just, I don't know, as a person, I couldn't do it.
Police say a man was walking at the same time Emily was, but did not see the vehicle. Now investigators are looking through security video and evidence to find the car. And Emily's friends just want the driver to come forward.
He hit someone's daughter, someone's mother, someone's aunt, a lot of people's friends, someone's cousin. You know, this girl was loved by so many.
A love Emily's friends and family hope shines through tragedy. In Indianapolis, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
If you have any description of the vehicle that may have hit Emily, you are encouraged to reach out to police.
And right now you are looking live at Hamilton Southeastern. That is where students and staff plan to hold a balloon release for Mason Alexander. He was killed in a car crash Saturday near I-69 and Southeastern Parkway. Alexander was a passenger. Officials say the driver of the car he was in tried to pass another car, then swerved to avoid an oncoming car, but overcorrected and then ended up hitting a tree. Alexander died at the scene. HSE will have a crisis team available at the school for students and staff. We're going to have more on the crash and this balloon release coming up at 4:30.
New this afternoon, a judge sentenced Bruce Mendenhall to 65 years in prison for a murder that dates back to 2007. He was convicted in January for the murder of Karma Purpura. She was killed at the Flying J truck stop at I-465 and Harding Avenue. Mendenhall happens to already be serving 2 life sentences right now for killing 2 other women in the state of Tennessee. And police tell us they believe he could be responsible for killing 9 women across several states. Rich Nye is on the story, and we'll have more on the sentencing as our coverage continues here on 13 News today at 5 o'clock. Also today, Indiana State Police are remembering this man, a trooper tragically killed in a crash 2 years ago. Master Trooper James R. Bailey was hit and killed while trying to stop a chase along I-69 north of Fort Wayne. Bailey was tending to some weather-related traffic crashes when he learned of the pursuit. He tried to put out the stop sticks when that fleeing driver, Terry Sands, struck him. Bailey worked for ISP for more than 15 years. It was just last week that Sands was sentenced to 41 years in prison for the crime. New tariffs may mean new and higher prices that we pay for food and also for cars. President Trump is set to impose those new tariffs tonight.
And he says they're part of a negotiation tactic to stem the flow of fentanyl into the U.S. and increase border security. However, investors seem worried about inflation. Here's Amy Kiley.
There are going to be tariffs on Tuesday on Mexico and Canada.
The Commerce Secretary confirms new tariffs are on track to begin around midnight Eastern Time tonight. He says a 10% hike on Chinese imports is on the table, on top of last month's increase. Executive orders also call for tariffs on most Canadian and all Mexican goods worth more than $800. The Secretary says the percentage of those duties is unclear. He says the president believes America's neighbors are making progress on border security.
He's sort of thinking about right now how exactly he wants to play it with Mexico and Canada, and that is a fluid situation.
U.S. companies are the ones that have to pay the tariffs. The Trump administration downplays how much of that cost they'd pass on to consumers. Many economists say the proposed tariffs could increase prices for goods like shoes, electronics, groceries, and especially vehicles.
If you can buy one before Tuesday, before the tariffs come in and we either shut down or become more expensive, you should go and do it.
Another concern is that Mexico, China, and Canada could impose retaliatory measures.
We will have a strong, unequivocal, and proportional response as Canadians expect.
But some analysts say the new tariffs could be good for the U.S. in the end. The Trump administration says they're leverage.
And the key would be no tariffs. But to get there, there's a negotiation. He's starting that negotiation.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The City County Council is meeting tonight to make a final vote on the new director of Indianapolis Animal Care Services. And this has turned into a really contentious decision because there's been a lot of pushback on letting Kelly Diamond take over that role permanently. Now, some workers tell 13 News they have not been happy with the work she's done so far, including cutting back on volunteer hours at the animal shelter. But Diamond has responded. She says that her decision about changing volunteer hours was a move for safety at the shelter.
The head of Kroger abruptly resigned today after an investigation into his personal conduct. Kroger says the founder, CEO Rodney McCullen's behavior is, quote, inconsistent with the company's ethics policies. No additional details are out right now. McMullen has been with that company nearly his whole working career, nearly 5 decades, working his way up when he first started as a part-time stock clerk back in 1978.
Angela's here helping us track this cloudy day where we were hoping to see peaks of sunshine. I feel like the sun is really trying right here.
Yes, a little bit of a glow there.
It is really,
glow.
yeah, really trying. If you are south and west of Indianapolis, southwestern part of the state, you've been in sunshine most of the day, and in turn in the 50s. Not quite that warm for the rest of us where we've got the cloud cover. So we do have rain on the way, so a weather impact day tomorrow because of some heavy rain coming our way. Timing that for late afternoon, early evening through late evening on Tuesday. The impact, heavy rain, may get a few rumbles of thunder, could have some gusty winds as well. What you need to do, be prepared for those wet roads on Tuesday and in fact, wet roads on Wednesday as well. Can't rule out some street flooding and some slower travel. All of this coming into play tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. There's a view over downtown, more clouds than sunshine, but we are starting to warm up a bit. We're at 47 degrees in Indianapolis, winds south-southeast at 11. Mentioned the 50s on the map. You have to be south and west of Indianapolis to get that warm. 53 Bloomington, 52 Bedford, 51 Greencastle, 54 Terre Haute, but cloudy and only 40 degrees in Kokomo. We've had a couple of sprinkles. You can see those with live Doppler 13 radar, but nothing heavy. And for most of us, skies will continue to clear over the next several hours. We'll spend the evening in the 40s with eventual low temperatures in the upper 30s and low 40s. Grab the umbrella. Kids at the bus stop, not too cold, but there will be the chance of a couple of showers around early tomorrow with heavy rain starting to move in this time tomorrow into tomorrow night. You can see it here with Future Track 13. A spotty shower early in the day. We're dry at lunchtime, and then here comes the heavy rain late afternoon, early evening. I'll have the local timeline for you in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much. And a heads up for commuters downtown for the next week and a half. All the southbound lanes of Capitol Avenue are going to be closed on the near side. This is near that new hospital construction project. So Capitol is closed from 16th down to 14th Street. If you want to travel south, hop on over to Meridian. Use that as a detour. And yes, drivers, you still need your cup of joe. You can access the Starbucks by taking Meridian south and then turning right on 13th Street.
Okay, all good info. And just ahead, the latest on the wildfires prompting evacuations in the Carolinas.
Plus, the highlights from Hollywood's biggest night last night.
We have a look at traffic as we head to break. Here's a look at I-70 and Arlington. Don't you move.